Hey guys, welcome to Defense and External Affairs. In this video, we will discuss about Zionism. What is Zionism, why Pakistan, Iran and many other countries are against it, and why it is in news. Recently, Zionism was in news because of Pakistan. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan gave a statement that in this time, Pakistan is in pressure to recognize Israel as a nation like UAE, Sudan, Bahrain and too many other countries who have accepted Israel as a country. Likewise, Pakistan also get pressure to recognize Israel as a nation. Now, here I am telling you a things that Pakistan, Iran and many other Muslim majority country don't accept the Israel as a nation. Pakistan PM said that though we have tremendous pressure, but we will never establish relation with Zionists. By this statement, Pakistan fall into those limited group of countries who does not accept Israel as a nation. If you look at this map, all the green countries like India, Japan, China, Russia, US accept Israel as a nation, and all the other non-green countries accept that there is no any country in the name of Israel. First of all, let's know about what is Zionism, what it means and from where the word Zionism comes. Now, first of all, the word Zionism comes from the word Zion. You will find this Zion word in the Hebrew Bible. Hebrew is an ancient language which is related to Judaism. Judaism is that religion which is followed by Jews. If you see the list of ancient languages of the world, you will find Hebrew along with Sanskrit, Tamil, etc. And in the Hebrew Bible, the meaning of Zion is the land of Israel or Jerusalem. And if we talk about Zionism, it is a political and nationalist movement who believe that Jewish people who follow Judaism, they should have a land and that should be the country of Israel. And this is the simple basic definition of Zionism. And these days, if you see the goals of Zionism to have land for Jews, that has been fulfilled. In 1948, when Israel was born, then it was believed that the Zionist movement was successful. And now, another goal of this movement is to ensure that Israel as a nation should be in existence. And here I want to add things that don't think that the idea of Zionism was popular after World War II, when Jews was tortured. In Europe, Germany, lakhs of Jews were killed by Hitler. Yes, it plays a role to frustrate this whole process, but Zionism as a political movement was in existence in somewhat before World War II. And this credit goes to a very popular Austro-Hungarian Jewish journalist whose name was Theodor Herzl. He is called as the father of modern political Zionism. His concept was Jews should migrate in huge numbers and had to settle in Israel, because from thousands of years this was the homeland of Jews, and now came the time to return to this land. Now you have a question that according to Zionism, Jews should have a home in the country of Israel, and Zionist is a person who supports this concept. Then, can anyone be a Zionist that wants support the Zionist movement, or should he follow Jewish religion? The answer of this question is anybody who supports the idea of Zionism will be a Zionist. For example, in USA, you will find many Christian Zionists. In 2016 or even in 2020 USA election, Donald Trump tried very much to gain the support of Zelical Christian, with the help of which he tried to win a major states of USA. Zelical Christian is a sect within Christianity who believe that if Jews settle in Israel, then one day Jesus Christ will come again to the earth. Thus, those Christians who support the idea of Zionism was called as Christian Zionists. And it is not that only Donald Trump to do this, but his political party tried from a very long time to influence this Zelical Christian. Now, here I want to add things that In the belief of Zionism, another very important aspect is law of return, which is also a law in Israel's constitution, which tells that Jews anywhere in the world, India, China, whatever, they can return to the country of Israel because it is their homeland. And in recent times, this has happened that in northeastern part of India, there are thousands of Jews has lived from centuries. Recently, many of them started to go to the Israel. These people are helped by many non-profit organizations of Israel who help them to go to the Israel. Then you have a question that why there are so many criticism and why Pakistan, Iran does not accept this ideology. Let's see, if Jews want a land which is very unproductive and no one ever lived there, then there will be no argument with this concept. But the way in which Jews get settled in very controversial. You know that the present time Israel and Palestine were once became only Palestine. Then suddenly after World War II, lakhs of Jews migrated to this land and want to settle here. And after this, here formed Israel. And after 1967, it was noticed that Israel expanded their land in a great extent, and at present time, Palestine has a negligible land. So, too many countries believe that Zionism is racist and it is discriminatory, because in one side we are talk about Jews and their land, but we often don't discuss about the right of Palestinians. By the way, this topic is discussed in UN many times. In 1975, also a resolution was passed in the name of Resolution 3379 that Zionism is a form of racism and racial discrimination. But Israel criticized this resolution because it was anti-Israel, and too many countries was voting in the support of this resolution. Here in this map, the green colored countries voted in the support of this resolution and the red colored countries vote against it. But in 1992, UN passed a resolution in which it was mentioned the discussion of 1975 resolution. That means in 1992 resolution, UN proposed that Zionist is a non-racist and there is no about racial discrimination in Zionism. And the name of this resolution was 46/86. This resolution was supported by 111 countries and 25 countries voted against it. This is the map which shows the supported and against countries of 46/86 of 1992. Now if we see Israel from Pakistan point of view, then Israel is a racist country from 1948. The idea which is the base of Zionism is racist because in one side it talks about Jews and their rights, but there is no any discussion about the Palestinian right. I think you have got the basics about Zionism, and if you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe.